If you like knowing stuff, you're in the right place. Welcome back to another video about college football. This video will be the start of a 5-part mini-series about the Power 5 conferences which I mentioned in the first video about college football. The Power 5 are the conferences that matter. They include the biggest universities in the United States, with big athletic programs that also have the highest level of competition. These conferences are my nickname, the Big 12, the Big 10, the ACC, the Pac-12, and the SEC. In Division I football, there is also the Group of 5 conferences that may be talked about in the future. There is a lot to talk about in college football. However, I felt it was necessary to talk about conferences first because of all the recent news in the world of college football about conference realignment. Teams changing conferences is quite normal, and it has been happening for many years. However, what we are seeing now is unprecedented. This big change all started last year when Oklahoma and Texas announced that they would join the SEC in 2025. Then, recently, USC and UCLA, the copycats, announced that they would be joining the Big Ten. Also, several teams no one cares about, Cincinnati, UCF, BYU, and Houston, are all joining the Big 12 to replace Oklahoma and Texas. There has been more rumors recently, but nothing has been confirmed yet. Anyways, we're going to be starting with the Big 12, which is going through the most changes in the next few years. The conference was formed in 1994 when teams from the Big 8 and teams from the Southwest Conference joined together. They started playing conference football in 1996, and since then, the conference has earned 3 national titles. The current Big 12, which has 10 teams, haha, irony, consists of Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, Texas, and West Virginia. Former Big 12 teams include Colorado, who went to the Pac-12, Missouri, who went to the SEC, Texas A&M, who also went to the SEC, and Nebraska, who went to the Big 10. And if you look at your history, these teams all had good seasons in the Big 12 and have since been trash. As mentioned earlier, future Big 12 teams include the Mormons, the large Florida school, Cincinnati's little brother, and Mr. Overrated. West Virginia and TCU joined years ago as replacements for Texas A&M and Missouri and are still currently in the Big 12. The conference originally had 2 divisions, North and South, and the winner of each division after the regular season would play in the Big 12 championship. When Colorado and Nebraska left the Big 12, the conference switched to a round-robin schedule, with the winner of the conference being decided by a regular season conference record. Then, in 2017, the teams with the 2 best records would play in the conference championship game, which had finally been reinstated. The Big 12's dad, Oklahoma, won the conference championship game 4 straight times until Baylor won it last year. Oklahoma has the most Big 12 championships with 14. Baylor and Texas both have 3. Nebraska and Kansas State have 2. TCU, OSU, Colorado, and A&M all have 1. Also, side note, Nebraska, who left the conference over 10 years ago, has more championships than OSU, and OSU is the same as Colorado and A&M, who also left 10 years ago, and the same as TCU, who didn't join too long ago. Besides the college football playoff, different bowl games have guaranteed spots for different conferences. The best Big 12 team qualifies for the Sugar Bowl, the second best to the Alamo Bowl, third to the Camping World Bowl, which is now the Cheez-It Bowl, fourth to the Texas Bowl, fifth to the Liberty Bowl, sixth to the Cactus Bowl, and 7 to the Heart of Dallas Bowl. Another side note, why is there a bowl game called the Texas Bowl when Texas didn't even make a bowl game last year? If a Big 12 team makes the playoffs, basically OU, then number 2 goes to the Sugar Bowl, and so on. There are several important rivalries in the conference. These include Bedlam between OU and OSU, which isn't really a rivalry, the Red River Showdown between OU and Texas, which is played at a neutral site, the Cotton Bowl Stadium in Dallas, and then Farmageddon, because why not? Farmageddon is between K-State and Iowa State. There are also several rivalries that have been ended by teams leaving the conference, but who cares? The Big 12 also has several associate members, which means a team that plays one or several sports in the Big 12, but not all of them. They are mostly wrestling and women's rowing. Examples include Alabama in women's rowing, Wyoming in wrestling, CSU Fresno in equestrian and wrestling. And that's about it. As far as location goes, the teams in the Big 12 are mostly Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, but there are some stragglers. The next conference covered in this mini-series will be the Big 10, so see you then. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, you are smarter now than before you clicked on this video.